Are you interested in learning more about our regenerative farm here in Panama? Or maybe you and your family are interested in relocating to Central America and haven't decided where you might want to settle. We are excited to share that we will be opening up spots for educational farm tours in English and Spanish, where we will share all that we have learned and are still learning about building up a healthy, biologically diverse farm with livestock, fruits, gardens, cover crops, water management systems, and more. We will also begin scheduling family relocation tours, where we will work one-on-one with another family interested in moving to Panama, specifically this area, and share all that we have learned in our process of relocating, buying land, buying a car, moving with children, residency processes, building a home, starting a new farm from scratch, building up community, and you'll learn all about the charming little town of Las Lajas where we live. To learn more and join the waitlist, visit our website at nourishfarmpanama.com and go to the Farm and Relocation Tour page. Fill out the short waitlist form, and we will get back to you as soon as possible when we're ready to start scheduling. We look forward to seeing you here.
Every little choice is a drop of peace, falling in the river, running through our streets. Every gentle word, every quiet deed, turns a broken day into living seed.
Bienvenidos, welcome, and thank you for joining us for Season 4, Episode 4 of the Pana Familia podcast with Eduardo and Nicole, where we discuss our experience relocating to and raising our 3 young children here in Panama, share our journey of building our new farm and home here in Central America, and let you know what we're learning along the way. We're glad you're here. Vaminos!
We're live from the studio dome / bedroom,
live from the dome,
underneath the air conditioning.
The sun finally came out today. It's been a couple rainy, cloudy days.
Yeah, we went straight into the rainy season.
We went from last time you said endless summer to, yeah, like you said, like straight into like November or something.
Yeah.
But luckily the sun came back
It's
out.
rained pretty hard a couple nights in a row. And then in the mornings it's been really cloudy and just kind of cool. And as long as you don't move, you don't get too sweaty. But
the bugs are back. We have these big like hatches. That's what Randy called it, a hatch.
A hatch?
Yeah.
Shout out Randy.
Shout out Randy and Patty, Canada. They are like nights when all of a sudden at like 5 o'clock, all these bugs, like hundreds of them, thousands of them, start showing up.
I think like thousands and thousands.
Thousands and thousands, but like here specifically, a few thousand probably. And they showed up right around sunset after dinner, and I was like, oh, there's those gross, they're like they look like giant ants with wings, and there's different bugs that do this. Another night it was like those tiny bugs, remember? They were all over the patio the next morning.
Yeah.
But then this time it was these giant like ants with wings, and we left the lights on, which was a stupid idea because we still had to take showers outside, and there was probably like 500 just in our outdoor kitchen, and they just show up and they die. They're like suicide bombers.
Yeah, they just like die. They just like...
It must be some sort of reproduction, like procreation thing.
I bet they were all males. I feel like the males always die.
Well, my sister said they were probably all females because they were all like had the wings, which is usually like the queens.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, like ladies retreat or something. But then they all die. It's some sort of like death squad. And now we just have thousands of dead bugs all around the house, and it smells like rotting flesh. And so we've been like slowly cleaning them up. They're all over the sidewalk. They were covering the dome, and then it rained, and then they all slid
off the dome
onto the sidewalk. What, honey? Also, lots of mosquito and chitre bites. And
not too crazy like some other places, but you do get bit by like 4 or 5 here and there, and then you kind of go. I go crazy.
You were going crazy last night.
Yeah, but I'm a little overreactive.
He looked like he got like chicken pox all of a sudden or something, like the way he's like itching like a crazy person.
I'm always like that. I mean, that's how I was in Santa Catalina.
I know. So I've been wearing like my linen pants again because it's just and it's really the transition time. So like it'll eventually like balance out, but right now it's just like all the bugs are coming back to life, and it's a little much.
So I guess we'll get into today's episode. Today we're gonna be talking about buying land in Panama.
I guess it could be property or land.
Property or land, yeah. So
any property.
Yeah.
Not just like raw land.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So just property in Panama, and just kind of what you need to do, and then we'll talk about our personal experience.
Well, not what you need to do, just like a.
What you need to do to buy land, because you're all listening, gonna buy land.
Kind of an overview of like how the process works, right?
Yeah.
And then like he said, then we can share like like our experience. So you want to start it off? Yeah.
So I'll just start it off. I'll first go with the types of land that there is here. There's ROP land, right of possession land, and there's titled land, titled properties. And how would you explain right of possession?
You just stick a flag on it and call it yours.
Pretty much.
Because you like it, because it's maybe next to yours. Nobody owns it at the time. And so it's a piece of land that nobody has possession over, and you decide to just call it yours. And you put a fence up, basically, and it's yours.
Yeah, it's very, I don't know, it's confusing. And then there's title land, which is basically...
It has the title, a formal, like, legal title in the system. Yes.
And the right of possession land, it's just, I don't want to get too into the weeds with it, but like...
but you don't want to buy property.
It's all like, when we first started looking at properties, you'd see all these lands, properties for sale that are super cheap, and they're all right of possession. And then you kind of learn what right of possession is. Yeah. It's like, you can buy it, but then someone else can
potentially come and take
it. So like people will buy it and then like title it as fast as they can.
Right.
But the titling process is not.
It costs money, so that's why it's cheaper, because then you're gonna have to spend more money to title it, basically, right?
Yes. Just like for example, like on our road leads to a beach, and the government had to put a sign up saying that this isn't ROP land, this is actual like government land, because people were going out there because it's
building little
beachfronts and fencing property lines and kind of claiming their own,
like a weekend house,
like a weekend, because it's it's like the secret beach that no one knows about, like only people that live on this road. And eventually the government's like, no, this isn't ROP land. We actually, like, the government owns this land.
So, like, people still do it, but, like, if somebody walks up and says, like, hey, can I sit here?
Like, you have to let them. They have
to let them, basically.
Yeah, and then there was, I remember the signs, like, don't buy any of this land.
Oh, don't buy or sell.
Yeah, don't buy or sell.
Oh, yeah, like, warning people it's not for sale.
Yeah, don't get suckered.
Yeah, and warning other people, like, don't try and sell this. You don't actually own it.
Yeah, so that's the difference between ROP and title land. And the requirements to buy property as a foreigner in Panama are pretty easy. You just have to... You just can. Money.
Yeah.
You just need money.
Anyone, foreigners and locals can buy land. There's no requirement to buy land here. You don't even have to be...
a citizen.
No, a
resident.
You don't even have to like be a resident or start in the resident process. Anyone can come buy land.
So if any investors out in wherever you're listening, you can just buy land and even visit.
Yeah, exactly.
And people do that. People buy.
I don't know what the incentive is for countries to do that, because like Mexico's not like that, and there's obviously lots of countries that aren't like that.
Yeah, Mexico's the opposite. You have to be like a citizen or like a, what do you call it, a bloodline from the citizen.
Oh, a child of a citizen?
Child of a citizen.
So you could buy land there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My dad
But you
voted.
would probably have to go through some sort of process.
I would still have to go to process, but it would be easier.
Yeah, you could do it. Okay.
Yeah. I think in Mexico, a lot of the gringos do like 99-year leases, what they call them.
Oh, so there is a loophole.
Yeah, like the leases. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's honest. That was part of the one of the reasons why we chose Panama, because there was a really easy path to land ownership here.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
us.
It's very easy. Very easy.
Yeah.
It's
It's also purchasing land is a requirement for a friendly nations visa, which is one of the visa options here. So if we wanted to pursue residency, we would have to own land. Like if you would like to move down here and become a resident and live here legally, you have to purchase land unless you get a different type of visa.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
two friendly nations. One was put money in a bank account, Panamanian bank account, and the other was buy land, and
Yeah.
we went the land. And the market in Panama, I think the best way to explain it is there's two types of markets in Panama.
Well, first, you want to say that?
Just assume everything is for sale in Panama. And I'm not even kidding. Like, just assume everything is for sale in Panama. You see for sale signs everywhere.
And even if you don't see one.
And even if you don't, if you ask around enough, you'll find out that property is for sale. So that's always been my line. Some of the
Right.
some of the,
for example, we've been looking at some places to potentially have a coffee shop, and we just like find places and then we ask around and see like, hey, is this for sale? And they all are.
Yeah, they all are. There's no sign.
There's no sign or anything. They're not online. And that's why it's really hard when you're not living here to like actually find exactly what you're looking for, because there is so much off the market stuff that's like really great and available, but you wouldn't know it unless you spent time
Living down here.
Yeah, living here.
And so that's a good segue into like the two types of markets there
right.
is
Yeah.
here. So there's like the online market, like what we first started.
Because that's all you can do when you're
'cause it's all
excited and you want to find out.
Yeah,
right?
so it's all you can do, and basically there's tons of online websites, real estate websites with properties for sale, and they're all
beautiful photos,
and beautiful properties too.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're all geared towards foreigners.
Mostly, yes, yeah.
Yeah, I would say
Pretty
most.
much.
I would say 98% of them.
What's the one called here? Encuentra 24?
Encuentra 24 is like the Craigslist.
Right, but there's a lot of like property on there for, and I think maybe that's where like local people find stuff.
Local people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the online market, and most of the time that's where you find the price here. Pieces of property, beach houses, mountain properties, just kind of the prime stuff. And then the second market is, I call it like the local market, and it's the best way to get into this market is, number one, live in the area, and number two, meet people, and then just kind of start asking around. And if you know someone that knows someone, they'll always connect you, because like the Panamanians still own a lot of stuff here, which is good.
Right, of course, yeah.
And it's been passed down, from generation to generation, and they kind of view it as a savings account, I would say.
Right.
And
so they'll break up pieces.
They'll break up pieces and sell it.
And there's also the kind of the same problem that's happening in the U.S. is like these older people that have owned land for a long time and ran cattle or whatever, like their kids want to move to the city and don't want to deal with it. And just like in the U.S., like the kids don't want to take over the family farm. So the parents are like, well, maybe I'll just sell it and make some money then. Why hold on to it if my kids don't want to utilize the land, which is, I think, really sad because it's so, owning land is, probably one of the top, I would say, goals.
Investments, I would say.
Yeah, in life.
Yeah. I'm a horrible investor, but I know with land.
Yeah. That's like top number one. If you can own land over everything else, like go for that. But this isn't Ed and Nick's investment advice. But I think that's kind of part of the reason why like you can find like in rural places like this, like chunks of like farmland that someone's willing to like, sure, why not? You want to give me this for it, you know?
And then a lot of times too is like the parents don't sell the land and they pass away, unfortunately, and then the kids take over, and then 5 siblings are trying to get rid of one piece of property and split it. So.
Right. And they're like, let's just sell it and then we each get a chunk and we're good to go, and that's that,
So yeah, that's the other problem. And there's, you can say that for land, you can say that for buildings. You can kind of always tell which buildings they are because they're always like just looked abandoned. Look abandoned.
Like, oh, it used to be a store, it used to be a fonda, a restaurant or whatever, and like now it just looks like the jungle has taken over.
Yeah, there's a handful here in Las Lajas that like they're just empty and they're in the really good spots.
Yeah.
And then just like, they're just sitting there and you kind of ask around and you find out some old person just doesn't do anything with it. Yeah. And then even when you go around to other parts of the country, it's the same thing,
Right. So if you can meet like a local real estate agent versus a foreign, because a lot of the real estate, well, I don't even know if they're technically, there is also no real estate licensure here, and so like you do still have, you can have a real estate agent that maybe like helps you find property, but you still have to use an attorney, and the attorney is the one who like does due diligence and helps with all the paperwork and stuff like that. So they're a real estate lawyer. Your real estate agent is just someone who like shows you property and like helps you find what you want. So like versus in the US, it's just like you have your real estate agent and they take care of all the legal stuff too.
Yeah.
You don't have to hire an attorney, but here you also have to hire an attorney, and if you don't, you're risking like a lot of stuff being wrong. And it just like is highly recommended to have an attorney that does all that stuff for you.
Yeah.
So a lot of the websites that you'll find online are run by non-Panamanian people.
They still live here, but they're
just
foreign.
not. Yeah, they probably don't have maybe as many
connections.
With like old families, like the kind that we're talking about. And not everyone wants to buy a big piece of land. Some people just want a house in Boquete, and that's super easy to find.
And there's pros and cons to both. I think like if you go with a foreign real estate company, they do make everything easy because it'll be in your language. They'll find you really nice properties that are basically turnkey, as they say, ready to rock and roll.
Right.
But that comes at a price, which is fine. The nicer stuff's going to cost more. And then if you go with like a Panamanian real estate agent, they're going to be, because they grew up here, they're going to know everyone, and then they'll just ask around. And for the most part, because there is no also pricing.
There's not a big enough market, to like have like really like an actual fair pricing.
Yeah,
strategy.
So prices are all over the place. So
that's kind of an annoying part about the market here.
So some people will throw you some crazy price, and some people will give you a reasonable price, and I sometimes feel like you'll get the better reasonable price through the local realtor.
Right.
Because they might know someone that just wants to get rid of something. They might not be marketing it, but they just want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And then, and then there's other people that just throw you a price, and you're like, oh man, am I buying a house in California, or am I buying a house in...
Like, what is going on? Yeah, we're still in a different country, guys. Yeah.
So there's pros and cons to both, and I'm not saying one's better than the other, but just kind of whichever is easiest for you.
Right.
For us, I was lucky. I speak Spanish, so that made talking to people easier.
Right.
Kind of investigating more.
Right. Yeah, that's very helpful.
If you don't speak any Spanish, you're gonna.
You do need to use.
You need to use someone the realtor that speaks your language.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, you do have to work with a real estate attorney, and most attorneys that help with immigration and stuff also help with real estate. And then when eventually you decide to put an offer in, you sign a promise to purchase agreement, and you put usually a 10 to 20% deposit down. And then between that time and the closing time is usually, I don't know, a month or two, kind of depending on how fast paperwork goes through and everything like that. I don't know that there's actually a deadline, like that's not like it has to happen in 45 days or something, but usually it does. And once all the paperwork has been processed and the deeds have been transferred and everything's ready to sign, then you go sign the final paperwork, make the final payment. That can get complicated if you don't have... Do we do all that through our U.S. bank account?
Yeah, we did all the wiring.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do it all through wire, so you're going to pay no matter what. But, if you have a foreign bank account, that obviously adds more fees. And then there's the whole issue of, will you purchase it in your name, like your personal name, or will you create a foundation and purchase it under a foundation's name? The benefit of purchasing it through a foundation that's you have created here is you are protected legally. Like if me and Eduardo bought this land and just put it under our name, and then Eduardo suddenly passed away, the land would go through what's the word? Not probation. Purgatory.
Purgatory? There's
a word. I have to stop it and look it up. Okay, I had to look it up. It's called probate. That's the word I was looking for. So, like, no matter what, like our house in the U.S., if you passed away, like, it's just automatically, like, it's mine because, like, I'm on it too. But here, if someone on the title passes away, the land automatically goes through probate. And that obviously is a horrible process and can be very complicated and very costly. But if you have the land under a foundation, that doesn't matter at all, because you have your foundation set up with like your main people and then your like backup people and all that kind of stuff. So it's highly recommended and much safer and just much easier if you set up a foundation and then purchase the property through that foundation. And it's easier to pass on like to your children, and for for estate planning, it just makes it much simpler. So that's another like facet, I guess, of purchasing land, is how you will purchase it. So that's pretty much the process. And I mean, you can look up lots of different articles. I can link a few in the show notes as far as like with like really good information on this. But it's a pretty like cut and dry process if you're working with trustworthy people. And I think part of the reason that I want to share our experience is because we had a good experience. Like, it wasn't perfect, but it was like no one was trying to trick us. We worked with trustworthy people. It was like a very positive process. And I think there's a lot of like horror stories out there and like, ooh, be careful, and this happened to me. Like, even when we moved here, people told us like, oh, like mine was a nightmare and this happened to us. And everyone always wants to tell you their
negative side,
all the negative stories. And it's like, it doesn't have to be like that. Don't let yourself get scammed. Like, you are a foreigner, so yes, people will try to take advantage of you, but if you find the right people, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, if you work, I mean, it's just like you said it perfectly. You work with the right people and you vouch them, and
you're smart
and
about
you're smart.
it. Yeah, like don't put a target on your head. Like, play the part of like
dumb foreigner.
Yeah.
But yeah, our process was pretty nice. I mean, like, there was some. I mean, I don't really think we had a really bad part of it. I mean,
no. It was the fact that we had started working with one realtor, and then we brought in different realtors, and they are the ones who found us our property, and so then all the realtors had to get a cut of the commission, and that's where it started getting a little complicated. It got to the point where I was concerned that like we were going to lose out on it, because I wanted to make sure everybody was happy. Of course, both parties that we worked with were great to work with. And we just kind of had, at that point, we had to take a step back and I was like, okay, they need to figure it out on their own. And eventually they did, praise the Lord, and it went through.
Yeah. So we first worked with our realtors from California. We were working with them, talking with them from California.
Oh, like when we were in California.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we finally moved down here, and I think within the week we were looking at properties with them, and we saw some cool properties, a lot of cool properties, and there was one that we really liked, and the guy wasn't budging on the price. And
right. He actually brought the price up.
Yeah. That's another episode.
After it had been, we had started looking at properties the year before we moved here, so we had seen these properties sitting on the market for over a year.
Yeah, it's just economy 101 is like the longer something sits on a market, the more it loses its value, and he was actually the opposite. He thinks it gained value the longer it sat on the market, and to the point where I remember I said, we know it's been in the market for 2 years now, 3 years, and the price is actually going down in my eyes. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, it is. I saw online. He's like, where are you at? And then where at? And I showed him, and he walked away and calls a realtor, and I can tell he was chewing her out, change the date, this and that. And that was one of those things where
that's why they have that option on real estate listings. It says date listed, because the buyer should be able to know that. That's not fair to trick someone into thinking oh, this is a new, fresh, hot property. Yeah. No, I've been trying to sell it for 5 years.
Yeah, and that's one of those examples of we're not going to get suckered into overpaying for something.
Right. No, just because we want it we don't want it that bad that we're going to overpay.
And for the record, that property is still on the market.
It's still there, and we are, 3 years into living here and 2.5 years into having cows on our farm here, and this is
And that property didn't go through.
And let me say something just real quick, just to encourage people who may be going through this process or is when we realized we couldn't buy that property just because financially it was not a good decision, we both thought we lost out on our perfect property. That's what we thought. We were both very bummed. And there was one before that we also lost out on because someone bought it right after we had seen it. And both of those, we thought, that's it. That's the only reason we wanted to go, is the perfect spot for us. There could be nothing else that we want, and still that's very naive, obviously. But also when you've been looking at properties for months and months, then you kind of know exactly what you want, and then the one you thought was perfect is gone. It was a huge bummer, but eventually we found one that was way better for us. So if that's where you're at right now, just continue to have faith that that perfect one is out there, and don't settle for less if it doesn't feel right.
I think the biggest thing was we didn't force it with that property.
Yes.
And put ourselves in a bad situation where maybe we could have had a horror story like everyone else we met.
Right.
So just be patient and stay in the pocket, as we say, in football terms. Look down the line, see if there's an open receiver.
Right.
And so we kind of got discouraged, and then we're like, whatever, we're already down here. Let's just keep looking. Mm-hmm. And we looked around some other properties around here with another realtor, a local realtor. She put the hit out on the Las Lajas, and she found us 3 properties. And the first
within 3 days.
Within 3 days, everything was back there. And so then she sent us pictures, and we're trying to figure out where they're at. And we're like, man, we can't tell because everything looks like this.
It was all green, trees, and we'd been living here for 4 months or something. So we're like, oh, is that one spot? But we were wrong on all of them. Yeah.
So then we started looking properties with them, and I think we did this one last, didn't we? The one we bought.
I think so. Yeah.
It was 3 properties, and then the third property they showed us was the one we bought, and I just remember. Walking it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then we just really liked it.
And we only really walked one side of
Half of it, yeah.
The smaller side, we didn't even really know the extent of what was going on the other half, because there's a creek kind of splitting it. So
we looked at the what we call the the forgotten side.
Which is now the forgotten side. We actually live and have built everything on the side that like we
never
didn't even see the first 2 or 3 times we came here.
So yeah, I think I walked to the water trough and just took a peek, and I was like, oh, that's cool, and that's about it.
Oh, that's really big over there. Wow. Yeah. It's just kind of grass. I remember you came back, you were like, yeah, it's just more pasture.
Just more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got more of a rolling hill. So we liked it, and then we came back. We looked at it more. And
we came like 3 times, I think. Asked questions, like.
We asked. We already had some friends that were like local.
Oh, Anito,
people,
right? Yeah.
So we asked them, hey, what do you think about this property? And, oh, yeah, I know that property. I know that person. They're a good person.
And also, you asked them about the grass. I think,
grass,
for the cows.
Yeah. He told me, what I asked him about the pasture.
Yeah.
And just everything kind of pointed like, yeah, it's a good property. And so.
And it was in town, like this small town that we had fallen in love with, and.
It was like right on the outskirts of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, right at the outskirts of town.
Yeah, I guess on the outskirts here. It's like a 5-minute drive to like the grocery store or whatever.
Yeah, but like the town's tiny. That's the problem. So yeah, we're kind of like, so we just put an offer on it, and.
Well, we offered what she was asking.
We offered, yeah.
That was it, because we thought it was like very reasonable. And
that was the thing. It was like it was way more reasonable than what.
Anything else we had looked
Everything
at.
else we looked at.
Yeah. And bigger.
It was like per hectare price was like way lower than everything else. So it's funny because like when I tell my Panamanian friends what I paid for it, they're always like, "Oh, you paid a little too much. That's all right. You paid the gringo price." And then when I tell like the foreigners what I paid, they're like, "Oh man, you got a killer deal.
Yeah.
That's a real good price." And I go, "All right, I think I got a good price." If they both kind of
if they both are saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have an episode from season 1, I believe, titled "We Bought Land in Panama," and I think we go over this process a bit, and we also share like more information about it. So you can listen to that one for like just kind of some more details. I think we share like what exactly we were looking for, like a list of like what we were looking for at land. But yeah, we then like you said, we put an offer on it. We did our deposit. We already had a lawyer that we were using for residency, and so they helped us also with this. And the lawyer was a recommendation from a friend also, and they're from Boquete, and they have been wonderful and great to work with, and they're very
for everything. Yes.
They're very professional. They get back to you right away. Like we haven't had any issues whatsoever.
And I'll say, yeah, once we put the offer down and we started, it's crazy because like, we're starting to like put a deposit, and it's like, I don't remember what it was, like 20 grand.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, I hope this is all real. Because there is.
You're just like wiring money to a foreign bank account.
Yeah, so,
like,
I mean, and I think that's what like, that's what the, vouching people, working with the right people, like, because you are eventually going to get to the point where you are moving a lot of money.
Yes.
And I remember sending the first wire, and I'm like, well, I hope we're not getting
I remember that too.
hosed. Yeah. And like the whole process, they were very clear. Everyone was very clear, very transparent.
Yeah.
And we finally made the final payment. And then I was like, all right,
we got like, they gave us like the key to the padlock.
Yeah, the key
right?
the key to the padlock. And I was like, all right, well, we just gave away we just transferred over basically all or most of our money.
Yeah.
And so hopefully it's actually ours, or not just this key that they like they're gonna call the cops on us when we drive on it. Like, oh, we got some intruders.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We drove over here that day, and I have a video of us like driving through and just being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, this is ours. We own land, and like free and clear, no mortgage. Like we own it.
Yeah, we own it.
It's titled under our.
Yeah. And it was a good experience, and everyone that we worked with, our realtors from Boquete, that we met through the internet were great. The realtors that we met through Nicole's friend was great, and the lawyers, the whole team was just very
it was
good.
A really good process.
And,
yeah.
I mean, we put an offer down, and I think we had everything figured out within 45 days.
Right.
And nothing really.
I mean, we moved here in July, and we had our land
in October.
We
moved on it pretty quick.
That's how quick. I mean, part of it was we had to start our
residency
process, but also we wanted to get moving. Like, we were ready to like start. We didn't want to, because we wanted to start building our house.
Yeah,
and, like,
we wanted
stop living in like an apartment. And
yeah. So the process. I guess the only advice I give is the process is very good if you have the right team.
If you have the right team, and I'll share some links of the businesses, the people that we worked with, as recommendations, just personal recommendations from us. I don't see why not. I mean, we've had great experiences, like I said. And
shout out Carmen Lazar, Fatima, Maritza,
and Miranda and Contreras.
Miranda Contreras lawyers.
Yes.
That was our team. They were all great people to work with.
Yeah, it was a good experience, and like, it's obviously like Eddie said, like, nerve-wracking, but so much other stuff. I mean, selling our house in California was nerve-wracking. My stomach was in knots. Moving here, everything. So it's just like another big like.
I'm pretty sure our stomach was in knots for like a year.
It was like a high stress, high sad, like low sad, happy, excited, stressed, scared, nervous. But I don't know, like when you're doing things outside of the norm and like following like big dreams, like you have to be ready for all those feelings.
And it was funny because like like Nicole said, even when we sold our house in Turlock, it was kind of like everything, your stomach just gets that feeling, and that feeling was like throughout the whole process. But I do remember when we bought the property, that was the first time that I wasn't scared, wasn't nervous, because I told myself, I was like, well, at least we have land. Like,
we could buy a tent and
like at least we have land. Like, I just transferred over all our money, but at least we have the land.
Yeah, we do.
And
we know this land's ours.
I knew even like the building process was like kind of whatever, but like at least I that didn't really put knots in my stomach. It was more like getting to like the actual purchasing the property because of what we went to get to that point.
Yeah, there's lots of, like we said again, like if you're only looking online because like you're not here, like just know that like if you can come here even and stay for like a month and really like look around at wherever you want to live, like it makes a huge difference, because you might be able to find something. You probably can find something that's just not on a website, but there's also tons of great websites that have lots of great properties. And
there's a lot of neat properties.
Yeah, and you can find people that are willing to negotiate, or maybe you'll find a really fair price. But like, there's lots of great websites that are geared towards like people looking to start a homestead and people looking to live by the beach or live in the mountains, and so there's a lot of options. And yeah, if you are in that process, we wish you the best of luck.
Yep, wish you the best of luck.
If you have any questions, we are happy to try and answer them. You can send us an email, or you can comment wherever you're listening to the show, and we'll try and answer your questions. All right, guys, we got to get back to parenting, dinner time, and separating calves so he can milk tomorrow.
Milk one more time before I'm going to Holland tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to Europe without me. For the first time, he's going to Europe, and I don't even get to be there with him.
How many people can say they milked a cow by hand in the morning and then they're in Europe?
And then going to Holland.
In
the afternoon.
Yeah.
I don't know, baby. Probably not very many. Or maybe some of the other people that are going with you.
Maybe they have cows, and I'm just hyping myself up.
Hyping yourself up. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next time.
See ya.
Ciao. Be sure to follow along with us on Instagram at NourishFarmPanama, and visit our website, nourishfarmpanama.com. If you enjoyed this episode or have found something helpful, we would greatly appreciate you leaving us a 5-star review. It would help our show reach more people, and it would mean a lot to us. Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time on the Pana Familia podcast. Ciao.